Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time, my name is Maria and we're here to try out basically a full face of Laura Lee Los Angeles makeup. I snagged a mystery bag a month or two ago when she did her mystery bags, and can you believe I haven't even tried the products yet? So these have just been sitting there in my closet like, try me, please let me out. But I wanted to make sure I did it on camera for you guys as a true first impressions of her line. So here we are. There are so many goodies in that bag. There's also some makeup tools that we're going to be trying out. So grab a snack and get comfy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and cue the intro. I know I look absolutely ridiculous in this video. All right, so one of the new products that launched with these mystery bags was her beauty sponge. This is the LL Beauty Sponge, so I can't wait to try this out today. She does not yet have foundation, so we'll just be using one of our own foundations, but that's totally okay. I wanted to try it out. So here is the little sponge. Let me get it damp and we'll test her out. All right, look how much that poofed up. It feels like it almost doubled in size, which is really awesome. Let's get my hair pulled back out of my face so we can actually see what we're doing here. Now I already did primer and we're going to go in with the It Cosmetics CC creams. This is one of my favorites. It's a tried and true. So I know how it applies with other sponges and applicators, so then I can know whether I really like this beauty sponge. I didn't want to try a new foundation because I don't know if me not liking it is the foundation or if it's the sponge. All right, the awesome thing about this is there's so many different shapes. We're going to use the large side for foundation application. We're going to use the small tip, obviously, for concealer. And then there's this flat shape, which is really good, she said, for baking, like under your under eyes. So we'll try all those out and see what we think. If you're not familiar with Laura Lee and her channel and her makeup line, I will have everything linked down below to her website as well as to her YouTube channel. She started out years ago traditionally as a makeup YouTuber, but she has been getting into lifestyle, which has been really fun seeing her kind of like grow her content and getting into different things. She still is so stunning and phenomenal with makeup. She's just been having fun with other things. But I love to see her expanding her line. She also now has a clothing line called Nudie Patootie, which, girl, it's right up my aesthetic. So I need to snag some of that too. Maybe we'll have to do a Nudie Patootie fashion haul. That would be really fun. I like the shape of this sponge. I like how you get the different angles and stuff rather than just with like a traditional beauty blender. And the beauty blender is $20. So this is actually less expensive, which is great. Let's pop into some concealer. I just have the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer, one of my favorites, and it is drugstore, so you can't beat it. It's like $6. And now I'm just going to use the rounded pointy end. I know this is also strange, but I love that this blender was already like a beige color, because when they're pink and you get foundation all of it, it just looks dirty. This kind of just looks like how it's meant to be. Does anyone else feel that? Does anyone else wash them as much as they're supposed to? Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. This is really great for these like small under eye areas that are tough to get to. Let's use this flat shape to bake under our under eyes a little bit. I just have the Ciate London Extraordinary Translucent Powder. I don't usually bake my concealer, to be honest. It's more than I usually do. I just kind of lightly go in with a brush. But since we're trying out the sponge, we have to try. So let me just layer that right on under there. Honestly, even without baking, just with setting it on there, I like it. I like it. So there's really no powder that we need to go back and like brush off with the baking process. But okay, so good review on the sponge. I think it is decently priced. For the product, especially since it's a multifaceted product. You can use it for a lot of different things. So I like it. Now that we have foundation on, let me get my eyebrows on real fast and we'll be right back. All right, since we're going into our eyes, I zoomed you in just a bit, but first we have to decide which eye product we're going to use, because in the beauty bag, I got so many eye products. I got the Party Animal palette. Look how pretty. I think this is a little bit bright for what we're going to do today, so we'll stick this away for a fun kind of night out look. I also got a bunch of little singles, which they also provided a magnetic palette. So I've got those 6 stuck in here, but again, a little bit bright. So we'll hang on to those as well. And then we get into Nudie Patootie. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness. Look how pretty. This is absolutely stunning. The color story reminds me of like the Modern Renaissance palettes, but you get even more products, I believe. So it's a 14-pan palette and they are each 0.06 ounces. And we have got to play with this. Now I also received 3 makeup brushes in this mystery bag. So the Kabuki, this is the L11. This would be for makeup foundation, which we really wanted to try out the sponge. So I'll have to try that another day. We do have the L16, which I'm sure we'll use on our eyes, as well as the L13, which once we get into some highlighter, we will try out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from this one right here, which is called Streaking, and just buff that right into my crease. There is a really, really nice mirror in this palette, so that is phenomenal. But let's get that buffed in just as a matte transition shade. I love the color stories of these, that it's neutral, but it's also very like romantic, and they all look like they go together. Like in my head, I'm creating like so many different looks right now, but I have to pick one, obviously, for the purposes of this video. But this is a palette I think I could pull from like every day and not get bored, to be honest. All right, so just to add a little bit of dimension to that, I'm going to take Bare right here and just kind of layer that right on top. The colors are very pigmented. They're going on really well, but they're also blendable, at least so far. So we will see if we continue thinking that or not. All right, now we're gonna take my L16 new brush, and I'm gonna grab Butt Naked right here and get that in the outer V. And just buff that in. To build that up a little bit. Her brushes are so soft. I remember in her launch, her talking about that was one of the like big things that she was going for, was having a super soft bristle. And girl, you got it. You nailed it, because I love it. I'll have to certainly grab more of her brushes. I tried to grab them on the initial launch. They launched at like noon or something, and I was at work, so I couldn't get them. And then I tried when I got home, and they were sold out for like months. So they must have done really well. They have been restocking since then, so I need to go back in and grab some. I'm just pulling this in along my crease just a little bit to blend it. All right, so pretty so far. Next, I think I'm going to go in with Topless all over the lid, and then we're gonna go back in with Jaybird, because that looks like a pressed glitter shimmer, kind of a blend, and I'm excited. So for Topless, I'm just gonna get a little bit of Fix Plus on my brush, if I can get it open, because that would be helpful, so it can actually spray. And then we'll go in with that right all over to meet up with the brown. Okay, and I think for Jaybird, I'm just going to use my finger. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. And put that kind of, oh my gosh. Wow. Yes, definitely a pressed glitter. Stunning. Look at the difference with that glitter right on top. It's actually more orangey than it looks in the pan. Like, I'm not mad at it. I thought it looked a little bit more pinky in the pan, but it's kind of got more of an orange kind of gold color story to it, but really, really pretty. Okay, I'm going to take some of Stark on my inner corners and then on my brow bone to highlight. Ooh, this is a really pretty brow bone highlight. I was worried it was going to be too white because it's just snow white in the pan, but I like it. All right, instead of going in with a heavy liner, I think I'm going to try to pull Nakey Nakey with a brush as my liner today. So let's try that and see how we do, because I really want it to all just blend together. Yeah, this is a really pretty brown liner color. If you have like a soft, warm neutral, sometimes going in with a black liner just detracts from it, in my opinion. So I've been wearing brown liners more and more, and this is a really good way to do it, just pulling from this same palette. All right, lastly, I'm going to take a little bit of buff, and I'm going to buff that on my lower lash line. It just seems right. It's literally called buff. It's a little bit of a shimmer, so hopefully I don't regret this, but it just seemed wrong not to, with buff being, you know, its namesake. Such a pretty look. I am going to pop on some lashes to pull it together. And let's get it blended. Ugh, I am loving the way this turned out. What do you guys think? All right, a good review from me. I cannot wait to keep playing with this. There's so many more looks. Absolutely. It's a win. All right, I zoomed you guys back so we can keep going. I also popped on my bronzer and blush real quick so that we can dive into our highlighter palettes. And oh my gosh, these are stunning. She has two phenomenal ones, which are called Glazed and Bronzed. So we are going to try them both out. Let me get them swatched for you guys so you can see all the highlighters. These are such huge pan sizes. They are 0.25 ounces on each pan. That is huge. These, oh my gosh, are so buttery. They almost feel kind of like wet in the pan, but they go on dry, so that's spectacular. Here you go, from bottom to top is Diamonds, Glow Gal, Rose All Day, and Cinnamon Sugar. Wow. Okay, let's dig into the next one. So the bronzed kit is a little bit warmer, almost more like golden, kind of yellowy or mustardy. Sure. Wow. Here are these. So from the bottom, you have Yacht Club, Rose Golds, Gold Rush, and On the Glow. So these all as a highlight might be pretty dark for my skin, but I love the variety here in highlighters. So to match different skin tones, that's phenomenal. These, honestly, for me, I will probably go to as an eyeshadow. I could wear any single one of these as an eyeshadow for sure. But I think for today, for my highlight, I'm going to dive into the Glazed and probably go for Diamonds, which is the lightest one. That's kind of how I like my highlight, light and bright. These two down here would be pretty dark for me. This one I could almost use like as a blush topper, maybe as a blush. And this one, it's probably a little too shimmery for, you know, just a straight bronzer. But again, I could use this on my eyes. It would look spectacular. But for today, let's go into Diamonds. Wow. Do you see that dimension as opposed to this one? And how beautiful and glowy. Ah! And these pans would last forever, I'm telling you. I wonder if she'll consider doing single highlights. So if I just want to go back and buy Diamonds and not have all the additional colors, I think that'd be a good idea, Laura. Should work on that. Wow. So fun. Just pop a little bit there. Honestly, I would put some rosé all day, like down my nose. Let's see. Just blend those all together. Ah, we're just going to shine to Mars. Oh my gosh. Stunning. Look at my nose. It is, you can probably see me from the International Space Station right now, which is so much fun. All right, the last thing we got in my makeup bag were 2 liquid lipsticks. Again, she is known for her liquid lipsticks. So we have Nakey Nakey and Show Off. I think Nakey Nakey she's like super famous for. But let me get these swatched. My hand is so shimmery from these highlighters. It's hilarious. But let me get these swatched right next to each other for you guys. Oh, wow. Wow. How are we going to pick? Those are too pretty. Those are too pretty. Okay. We got to try both. We got to try both. I'll take one off. So let's go in with Nakey Nakey first. Get my little party animal palette here to help me out. Wow. So this is like a true nude. So if you're doing a really fun like eyeshadow look or something and you just need basics for the rest of your face, this is stunning. Went on really well. I will let you know down in the comments below how it wears throughout the day, but it went on wet. It is already drying down but doesn't feel drying. I just waited a couple minutes to see what I think, and so far definitely liking it. But let's go into the other ones. Let me get this off really quick. So let's try Show Off. I think I'm gonna love this. Oh my goodness. That is all of the things we have to try out. Let me get my hair going here. So again, Laura, I'm so happy for you. I cannot wait to see what else you have from this line. Thus far, I'm loving everything. There is a Nudie Patootie 2 palette that I don't have. It's been out for a little while. I probably am going to have to just go get an order of more brushes, more singles, probably the Nudie Patootie 2 palette, and of course, some of her Nudie Patootie clothing. But that is it. Let me know, have you tried her makeup before? If you have, what do you think? And if not, are you going to snag any? Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you would take the chance to subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye.